Don't use food to calm you, to make you feel less sad, etc. Don't use it as a purpose besides nourishing you and enjoying the taste. And you also want to ask yourself a couple of questions. You want to ask yourself why you are eating. Am I bored? Am I angry? Am I depressed? Or, the last question, am I hungry? And if the only yes is to the last answer, then it won't likely result in a binge. But if you answer yes to any of those other questions, like am I bored, or am I depressed, or am I angry, then you are not really eating for the right reasons. So you really need to assess that before you pull the food out of your cabinets and start to eat. Try to do that when you feel a binge coming on, or even when you get hungry, because you may not know the right hunger signals yet. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have to sort of relearn hunger, both anorexics and bulimics, and binge eaters and people with eating disorder not otherwise specified. I mean, there's a variety of eating disorders, and most of us have to relearn what it feels like to feel hungry. But basically, what I mean is, when you feel hungry, you're ready to eat, stop for a second and just ask yourself, am I bored? Am I hungry? You know, am I angry? Am I hungry? Am I sad? Am I hungry? And see what you're answering yes to before you eat. And maybe just that realization will be enough for you to be like, wait, I'm probably going to binge if I eat now because I'm not eating for the right reason. Sometimes it's really just as simple as that. I mean, I know a lot of this video is sort of sounds like common sense, but sometimes having it spelled out for you, having it set out for you like this in little helpful tips and rules is the best thing that you can do for yourself, because it's easy for you to remember them later. And then the very last thing is, do not let food have more power over you than you have over yourself. It's food. You don't want to give it any kind of power, especially specific foods. If you have, you know, what you call your binge foods or your unsafe foods or something like that, and let's say it's pizza, you know, don't say, oh my god, I can't be around pizza, because if I'm around pizza, I'm going to want to eat it, and when I start eating it, I can't stop and it turns into a binge. You're giving pizza more power than you have yourself. You're giving pizza control, which is just so silly if you really think about it. If your binge food is Doritos or some kind of chips, and you don't want to have them in the house, or when you start to eat them, they turn into a binge, or you feel really bad about yourself after you eat them, you're giving chips, a bag of chips, more power than you're giving yourself. And you don't want to do that, because that is the first step to a binge. I mean, it really is. It's a very slippery slope with an eating disorder. It's a very slippery slope with food in general, until you are able to learn how to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And these are the best tips that I can give you. If you have any other sort of specific questions in regards to these, or anything else that I can answer, I would be happy to. So I will see you guys soon on YouTube.